Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You're listening to the What It Do podcast.
Let's do our jobs.
Business. Shit. And we did a lot of talking before you got here, so.
Oh, good.
We pretty much did the podcast while you were gone.
We got nice and forced before you.
Sorry, just wrap this up then.
But yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the What It Do podcast. In the studio this week, we got Mr. Kevin Little. How are you?
Welcome.
Guys. Hello. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming, man.
It's an honor to be here, so thank you.
I like that. It touches me, man.
No, I'm a big fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of y'all, so I was very honored.
Thank you, man.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
To get approached about doing this, so thank you very much.
Well, that's good, man. Like I said, of course, we talked about this before the podcast, and the whole, I guess, spiel about the podcast is just reaching out to people that live in San Angelo, and obviously the good things people are doing in San Angelo.
Yeah.
The organizations. Of course, you got Skate San Angelo, and
yes, sir.
I don't know how you find the time to do everything that you do, but that's cool.
I'm making what little time I can to help the kids and the people of San Angelo.
Yeah.
So just trying to help foster this skate culture within San Angelo and get more kids active and doing good things for the community. So that's pretty much how it all started.
And that's awesome, man, because it's great to see, especially when you go down like Kirby and you see people there at the little skate park, or you're coming down right by YMCA and you see them out there. And it really warms your heart, because remember, we grew up, we were always outside.
Bro, there was no skate park when we grew up. I remember taking my bicycle with my skateboard on my back, and we would go down to like, I don't remember what street it was. It was like maybe 8th Street or 9th Street. There was a drainage.
Oh, yeah.
And there were some tunnels down there, but it was the only place that we could get smooth concrete, and then we would use that kind of like a half pipe, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. There was like it's just like you said, like when I first started, it was 30 years ago when I first started, and there was no skate parks, nothing.
Yeah.
And skating to drainage ditches and skating schools and parks and random things, businesses that you're not supposed to be skating in was how I was raised, Kids are fortunate that they have skate parks available to them now.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't realize the blessings that they have to be able to go to a spot that's readily available to them, that's, made for something that, what they're doing, instead of having to make something of your own, or, having to find something behind a business or, someone's, property to make something enjoyable to skate,
Yeah.
Risking everything.
Oh, yeah. Risking everything.
Risking
Everything.
When you're sitting there, like walking down some of these buildings and the steps, and you see that black mark on all of them. On the rest, I'm like, hell yeah.
Nice.
Someone's been here.
Yeah, exactly. That's our calling call, or whatever the mark is. So, a skater's
that's so cool. I know people used to get pissed off back in the day, because of course they're having to maintain, paint over all those marks and stuff. But I'm like, man, I'm so glad that a park came across, where these kids can actually go and not have to, have some Karen in front of you trying to knock you off your skate or your skateboard so you wouldn't grind on their stuff.
It's true. Because people don't realize there's a lot of inherent danger in street skating, not just from the actual physical role of skating, but all the other things that are, out on the streets. I can personally name experiences I've had. I've had people pull knives on me.
Oh, no kidding.
Guns. I've been shot at before.
Whoa.
Out in Long Beach, California, I got actually confronted by a gang. I didn't realize where I was. Me being a naive, San Angeloite, I was going out in California, and I showed up to a school, which I thought was a, decent looking neighborhood, which it was to me. Not realizing I was in someone's neighborhood, and they come up on me and like, where are you from? And I'm like, oh, I'm from San Angelo, Texas, And then they're like, no, where are you from? And I'm like, and they're like, my friend's like, no, man, he thinks you bang. And I'm like, oh, no, dude, I'm not from that at all, dude. I'm just trying to escape this school, And they're like, man, you're in the wrong neighborhood, homie. And I'm like, all right, I'm out, So I kind of like get my way back to my car, and they're like trying to block me in, and literally like, him and like 2 more cars start showing up of his friends, and I'm like, this is getting bad. Yeah, it's like, I'm just trying to skate, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to mess y'all up or like, but to them it's part of their area, and they're like, they're very defensive of it, and they don't like people in their neighborhood. And I get it, it's like they see some random group of people show up, and I'm not trying to cause a scene or nothing like that, but they took offense to it. And I mean, it suddenly escalated to where like we're almost having to fight these people off. And they literally were chasing us to a highway and shooting at us.
Damn.
Oh,
like,
wow.
and I was like veering in and out of cars, like trying to like get away from these people. And
Jeez.
dude, it was crazy. And that's just one of the experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, hell, even in St. Angelo, I had a guy pull a knife on me over down by the river one time, skating by myself. Like,
Was there a van?
it was crazy. Well, this dude came up and like I was just like filming myself like randomly solo.
Yeah.
Trying to film a trick I do, which I do all the time. And he comes up with a knife and he is like, "Yo, man, what you got?" And I'm just like, I got like a camera. I got my phone here. I was like, what do you? And I just kind of like basically BS'd and nice guyed my way out of it. Because at first I was thinking I was getting jacked.
Yeah.
And I probably was.
Yeah.
But somehow I turned it around, and then like we ended up talking later on. I even like kind of halfway almost gave this guy a pair of skates.
Wow.
And talked him out of like robbing me.
Yeah.
You know, but he was down bad and living on the streets from what I come to find out. But basically just me having a gift to gab, I kind of like talked this guy out of it and was just like, man, what's going on in your life to where you're at this, dude? You're like robbing people and shit. Like, kind of crazy, isn't it? Like, he's like, man, I just got down bad, lost my job, and, you know, I've been doing some bad family stuff and all this. And I'm like, man, and he just kind of needed someone to listen to. And it was weird. It kind of like flipped so quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
That's all he needed.
That's all he needed. But it was like, this guy was robbing me because he was in a bad place in his life. And I'm like, oh, damn. Like, and after it was done, I was shaking. I was kind of freaked out by it, but I was like, you know what, though? I was where this guy needed to be. Like, I mean, maybe I was a person he needed to talk to, you know? It's like, and I felt kind of scared, but then at the end, I was kind of glad I was there for the dude in a weird way, you know? And it's like, skating's like that, you know? It's taken me in weird places, and, you know, it's saved me, and it's like, in a way, like, I want to do that. Like, and that's kind of like leads to where SKATE Angelo's at. Like, I want to kind of give that opportunity to kids. And it's like, it can save you from adversities and vices and things that.
Give them an outlet, man.
Right.
A safe place so they can go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Because a lot of people don't have that. You know, a lot of people go down a bad path, you know, and it just takes a few bad missteps and.
Oh, yeah.
You're in a bad place where this guy was.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm very fortunate I wasn't.
Yeah, and that's cool though, because I mean, you're right. That's probably what he needed. And we of course, we were talking about this before we started, and it's just, I mean, some people just need someone to talk to, man. Like, you need to purge.
Yeah.
You need to purge all your bad shit. You need somebody, because at the end of the day,
we kind of need this podcast.
Yeah,
to get it. Like, this is therapy for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right, man. Once a week, you got to dump it out. You got to do this mind dump.
Yeah,
and I mean, especially with somebody like that, you know,
right?
He needs somebody to.
Outlet,
an outlet, unload his problems on, and it's crazy because it's when you hold it in without realizing it, you're manifesting your own problems.
Definitely,
you know, when you sit there and talk, oh my way, man, nothing's ever working out my way. You're right, nothing's ever going to work out your way if you have that mentality,
that negative mindset.
Yeah, you have to purge that. You have to let that go.
Yeah,
you know, and I know.
The power of positivity is real.
It's true.
It's real.
Absolutely.
And idle minds, I mean, it's like when you sit there and just kind of like sit and fester and think about all the bad things going on in your life, like sometimes it takes people to kind of put into perspective, like how fortunate you are, how like good your life may be that you may not even realize it. And be like, you know what? Like, yeah, you got a bad circumstance, but I was where you were and I'm in a much worse position. And I you know, persevered through that. And through the adversity, I'm a better person through it. Like, and sometimes you just have to have someone to kind of confide in to kind of talk you through it, you know? Because if you just kind of sit there and dwell and it just kind of festers inside of you, it eats you away, you know? Absolutely. So it's like, and that's what I was telling him is that, you know, giving people the opportunity to have these conversations and kind of purge themselves and get those, you know, those demons out and you know, talk about the things that are holding them back. And to people that may have very similar circumstances, you know, we all are dealing with a lot of, you know, wild circumstances. We're in a weird place in life. We all are. So it's like we kind of have to talk ourselves through it or we're not going to get through it.
Exactly. And you need somebody there, man, because, I mean, I know we've said it before and I'll say it again. We're just winging it. Everybody you ever meet, no one's got it all figured out. We're all winging this thing called life, man.
For sure.
And it's great. It's great, man. It's good to have the outlet. I'm just going to say that. It's good to have the outlet. This is my outlet. This is my skater. This is my skate park.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's good, man. And that's what everyone needs. You know, everyone needs to have something to make them feel like what they're doing is making them feel whole, or like they're contributing to something greater.
Yes.
You know? And we all have very similar things that we're good at. But we can all find very similar, our similarities bind us together, you know, and the differences may, be few and far between, but our similarities are so much. Our diversity is so much bigger than our differences.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, so it's like, why are we necessarily pulling ourselves apart when we can, just embrace the things that are tying us together? You know?
Somebody had posted something yesterday, and I was reading that, and they were talking about politics. And, of course, this was the last one because we just had our mayoral election,
right?
Yeah. And there was a lot of negativity, and
sadly,
I'm like,
the culture when elections comes around,
but I don't remember ever it being that bad where people would talk that much crap about each other. And, of course, I know when it happened because when old Mr. Don got in office, he was the guy that threw, I guess for the lack of word saying, or better word, he was the guy who's throwing rocks through glass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he was the great disruptor is what I call him.
Well, the vile nature brings out the worst in people.
Yes.
And it's starting to cultivate within our culture. I mean, it's happening locally in all other areas. People are feeling more emboldened to speak their mind for good or bad, and sadly it's more bad because a lot of people are saying a lot of negative stuff.
I haven't found myself so excited for 2028.
Oh,
because I'm all right. We can push this last 8 years away. You know what I mean? Like, let's put it down.
A fresh start.
Exactly.
Because we at least get a brand new, I mean, God forbid we have a new, string of candidates. We're not going for a third.
Yeah.
But God forbid. But yeah, I completely agree. It would be a nice shift in culture to get back to something positive. And, just like our local elections, there was a lot of,
there was a
lot of crap thrown around, and, it's sad to see, I love San Angelo so much, and our community of people is so great. And I hate to see, when election season does come around, it does tend to bring out the worst in people. And there's a lot of infighting, and a lot of people are, fighting about things that, yes, there's a lot of good issues that need to be talked about, but also, people are talking about it for the right reasons, but it brings down people to where they start attacking each other maliciously, and it brings down people to an immature level, which I don't agree with.
No,
we can speak like adults, and still respect one another despite our differences. So.
And you can sit there and talk with, the people that voted differently from you and find out that, hey, we do have some stuff in common that we can agree on. We have a common ground to stand on. I just don't understand. I don't understand the name calling, man. I don't understand the putting people down. And I'm just like, look, you don't have to agree with what he says,
Well, people tend to default when they get frustrated and they don't know how to communicate. That's what they do. They kind of just they sink down to name calling like kids, because there's they get frustrated and they don't know how to communicate that they're frustrated. So they're like, it's like, oh, you're a poopy head, it's and that's kind of like what you see on the internet. It's like a lot of people get frustrated, and in the heat of the moment they say something that they may or may not have thought totally through, and they become keyboard warriors, and they start acting out like that, right? And it's just like, God bless, take a step back, guy. It's not that serious.
No, none of it is. But I mean, what are you gonna do?
What can you do?
It's human nature.
It's really. Human nature, especially when you get into teams and stuff like that. It's my team against your team.
Oh God,
tribal culture, sadly.
Oh yeah,
it's the whole keep them divided. You don't want, because they don't want you united. You're more powerful if you're united. So keep you divided. Keep them fighting with each other.
Over dumb stuff.
Right.
Which I know I've said this before on this podcast. I have an elementary level of understanding of politics. When I started off, I voted right. I'll say it. I would consider myself more center. And now that this continues to keep going the way it's going, I'm like, oh, wow, I'm I'm starting to go center left now, you know, and I'm like, oh, what are we doing here?
Well, that tends to happen a lot.
Yeah.
My wife was like that. I mean, she was, Republican, very conservative, and it's like with the way that the party's kind of going, it's like she's tending to see more. And that's kind of where things are going. A lot of people are kind of they're moderate or conservative. They're kind of being like, well, this maybe isn't the party for me.
What I see that happens, and it happens on both sides. Excuse me. Damn, that whiskey. But it happens on both sides, and it's whoever's in control. It's like everything's going good, but then it just kind of starts going
a little
far. And they keep stepping the line. Like, oh, y'all like that? Y'all like that? Well, how about this?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, y'all like that too?
Are they still clapping? They haven't stopped clapping yet, right?
Yeah.
Right. How far can I push?
Let's bring back slavery. All right. That's what I'm saying. Is like they go so hard that it's like, wait a second. Like, you were good right here. Why do you have to keep stepping it up? And and it happens the other way too. Like they're left. Okay, it's fine to be left, but then they keep going, and before you know it, they're just
like, what are we doing
over there?
Right.
And so like I feel like
you're ready to man, right? Get your ass back over
exactly,
here, man.
Yeah,
right. And it's like, and I see both sides. It's like there's lots of things that like, I mean, it's sad that a lot of like things get polarized, and some people are like, it's hard to like find a defining side any longer. It's like because Bun B said it perfectly. I'm a conservative liberal, and it's a lot of people are like that, and they have certain views that may steer them to the left. They might have other views that are more conservative, steered towards the right. That's duality of man. There's lots of things
conservative
that people
liberal. I like
both.
that.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Because here's what I don't understand. I'm like, you got good ideas. That's great ideas, but he had good ideas too. So why can't we merge those? Oh no,
you can't do that.
Oh, yeah.
And hold on a second. That's actually a really good idea, or that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Let's come together.
Yeah,
Warren's what the?
Yeah. Who the fuck are
what are you doing, man?
Carol Baskins.
This is not how it works. This is not how the system works.
We don't talk like that around here. What's wrong with you, man?
But I guess getting back to the
I gotta ask real quick.
No,
so
go
we
ahead.
were talking about the skating. I know we went way off from the skating. Rob and Big is the whole reason that Rob got Big. Like he hired him on as his bodyguard to help him where he was skating at places. He was like his bodyguard.
It was like a skit, I think. And
okay.
Coming from, and I rollerblade. And he was a skateboarder, but I followed the Rob and Big thing. I think it started as just like a skit on a video that they made, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Oh, okay.
And then it got like really more popular, and then like they started doing more and more of those skits. And yeah, basically it was like he had hired him to kind of be the enforcer against other security guards whenever Rob was skating, and then being big is probably twice as big as any of the other security guards that were enforcing at the time. So it was like, you could probably come up and tell him to leave, but are you going to tell Big Black to leave too? Probably not, So it's like the videos came out funny.
So it was more of a skit than it was.
Yeah, it was initially like a skit that they had basically done, and they had done several of them, and then it's like it had gotten more and more popular, and then it became its own show and all that.
Did you ever follow that or the whole business deal? I did a little bit. Of course, I don't know much about it, but Rob Dyrdek, that guy's a businessman through and through. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, how were you able to get him? Like, he literally had free reign to do whatever he wanted.
Hell, he's still ridiculousness.
MTV gave
still
him like
shows.
a freaking a checkbook and just said, do what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it was popular. I mean, it's like love or hate him, it's like he made stuff that people ate it up, it's like, I mean, I don't necessarily like Rob Dyrdek, but I appreciate his skating, and the things he's done as far as his business acumen and all that stuff. I mean, he's definitely made a name for himself, and you can't deny the work he's put in. It's like some of it's like it's goofball stuff, but it's gotten a lot of people skating. So it's like you can take it for what it is. So it's like, I mean, it's goofball shit, just kind of like the jackasses and all that stuff. It's like it opened the door for a lot of people.
Yeah, sure.
It's like it made skating seem cool, and that's what it's the counterculture thing that appeals to a lot of people. It's like
that's all MTV is now, is ridiculousness.
Oh, yeah.
It just
much.
shows
They
24
got a
hours.
blank check, bro. Like I'm telling you.
Crazy.
Yeah, I flipped through the channels and it's that girl laughing on a loop
Yeah.
pretty much the
Chanel
entire
West Coast,
time.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yeah. It's
Yeah,
sad.
as soon as I hear that. Yeah.
Can't do it no more.
Oh, it's so horrible.
It's so bad, dude.
I watch it for the, man, like the sports like that, the spills, man. I'm just like, I think you put a post up talking about how, I guess, trying to recover from an injury
Oh, bad.
and the fear that comes with that,
Oh
man.
yeah, because it sucks, dude.
I quit skating because I did the Peter Griffin grabbing my knee.
Yeah. Oh, you hit yourself with the
Oh,
shit.
it hurt so bad, and I'm like,
dude.
well, I think I'm done with the skateboard.
Oh, you don't even. Okay, let me tell you about my recent experience. Okay, so I'm dealing with a multiple litany of injuries right now, but my most recent one, which is so fun to talk about, is I have a knee injury, like a slight tear in my meniscus, and 2 slip discs in my back.
Oh.
And I'm still skating through it like a dumbass. But I recently had my knee drained because it was like developing lots of fluid inside there when I was skating, and I was trying to alleviate the pain. I was about to go on a flight to California to actually film a freaking commercial, and I was like, man, I gotta do something before I go, or I'm not gonna be able to skate or do anything. And I was still having bad back issues, but I was like, I have this opportunity to like shoot this commercial for this big ass company out of Austria, it's this company called Hostinger, which is a big web hosting company. So it's a huge opportunity for me. So I literally had my knee drained so I could skate. So like while I was down there, so I went to get my knee drained, and I think I have a high pain tolerance.
You liked it?
Yeah, I would imagine.
You liked it?
You think until you get something like this done, like I've had root canals with like no anesthesia. I had shots on my back, but this knee draining, like, oh my God,
Damn.
dude. Like I thought I was like gonna faint at one point. Like they had like put in a like the anesthesia, and it was numb where it had been injected, but not in like the middle of the knee where they were basically draining it.
Yeah.
And they had done like one of these little maneuvers and
Trying to
moved it around inside my
God.
knee. And I was like gripping the sides of the table like a little girl, and I was just like, and I could feel myself like kind of like when you ever got socked in the nose and you get that little blinking light.
Yes. Yeah.
I was getting those, and just for them doing that, and she was like, well, we put the steroid shot in there, but we didn't get a whole lot of fluid out of it. And I'm like, great.
God
Yeah.
damn.
So I went through all that. I mean, granted, it feels a little bit better, but I'm still dealing through all that. So, I mean, that was just one of the, one, it's part of, the lifestyle of skating, being injured.
Where they put
I
like
mean,
cortisone shot in there,
Yeah.
trying to help with the pain.
Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, I got shots on my back because I got 2 slip discs, and
Damn it.
that didn't hurt nearly as bad. So, but luckily now I'm actually back to skating, regularly and, doing fairly good,
I'll give you props, man. I'm just scared. I'm always scared to like stub my toe on something. 'Cause, man,
It's tough.
yeah, I've
man.
gotten to the point, man, where like I'm afraid to get hurt. I'm like deathly afraid. Where I'm like, yep, I'm not getting on top of that. I might slip and fall off that. And
it's so funny.
It's a calculated
Because-
risk to bend down. I don't know about that, guys. I can't do that shit.
This was not us 10 years ago.
No.
10 years ago, I was like, give me that. I'll fucking do it. And now I'm like, it's kind of dewy.
Maybe
It's
I
kind of
should.
dewy outside. I don't know.
There's a slight
I
breeze.
did,
a
I
slight
did
breeze.
stretch before I did this. I shouldn't,
Yeah, 10 years ago, bro, I was 30 feet in the air without a harness.
Yeah, same.
I didn't care. I thought it was 10 foot tall and boulder proof.
Dumb.
Yeah. I haven't learned, sadly.
Is that H2S gas?
So
Yeah, it is. It sure is.
And it's like my wife gave me crap. She was like, you literally just got out of physical therapy and you're already back at it. And I'm just like, I want to get better so I can
You're
get
passionate
back to
about
skating.
it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
you're not going to let the injury slow you down.
No,
You're going to keep
I'm
going.
going to keep going until I physically am unable to skate. It's
That's
like
cool, though.
I've had so many injuries, but it's like I have to keep going because I don't know honestly what the fuck to do with myself.
Yeah.
I'm such
Yeah.
a busy person. It's like, and skating's such a part of who I am and my lifestyle that it's like
I wonder if Tony
I was
Hawk still
depressed.
skates. Do you think Tony Hawk still skates?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, he's in his 50s. Yeah.
Him and his son, right? Or
Yeah,
son?
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like with him, like he doesn't probably know what if he had to retire, he probably wouldn't know what to do either. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I'm in that boat. I wouldn't know what to do with myself.
That's your outlet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I was injured for a good portion of last year, and I was I was depressed. I'll be honest. Like I was going through it. Like I didn't know what to do because I was like almost bedridden a couple of times. Like, I mean, I was like not able to stand or do much of anything at a certain point. And I was just like, man, like, but I was worried about getting back to skating. I was like, man, but I was also worried about like, am I going to be able to lift my kids up and go to the park and do the little things that you take for granted? Like I wasn't traveling or doing much of anything because I was just laid out. I couldn't even stand there for, you know, more than like 5 to 10 minutes. Like I had sciatica problems where my leg was pinched.
Oh, damn it.
And like, I literally was buckled over in pain. And I was like, man, this is how I'm going to go out. Like, man, this sucks.
Yeah. You're a God damn it, a rollerblade? You do rollerblades?
Inline skater.
Inline skater, okay. That's your thing.
Yeah. So I've been inline skating I started when I was 13. I'm 43 now. So, I mean, I started actually skating these streets, like literally behind here, like when I was like
30 years, bro.
You know but what's crazy is I remember having when what we called them rollerblades back then, when they first came to San Angelo. Of course I didn't get like the super expensive ones, but they were so hard to use on. We don't have nowhere to skate here in San Angelo, you know what I mean? So trying to skate on the street was damn near impossible.
You'd be eating up wheels. Yeah, if you tried to skate on the rough streets of San Angelo, and that's why it was so expensive just to like maintain that. Yeah, you know, it's like I worked a lot of like odd jobs just to pay for my wheel.
You can't have to replace wheels.
And it's funny. I own a wheel company now, and it's basically providing me my habit. You know, it's like it's sad. Cool. It's like I'm my own sponsor. You know,
has the material gotten better that they use on the wheels?
Yeah,
okay.
And it's like luckily because and it's cool because I've abused the wheels of inline skates for so long. I know what works and what doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So because of San Angelo ground is so crappy, and I know now what to make the wheels with, and I mean. They're some of the most durable wheels on the market.
You make the wheels?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, I don't physically make them myself, but I design them. You know, we come up with all the graphics and the hardnesses and the chemistries and all that. So basically...
Is it rubber or some type of a composite?
It's a urethane. Yeah, it's a polyurethane. We actually go through a company that's actually based out of Buda, Texas. So it was out of, what was it, Huntington Beach, and they recently moved to Texas. So now... all of our manufacturing is in Texas now, crazy. So
just
it's cool. I can go down and see our wheels getting manufactured in the actual warehouse, which is awesome, and I don't have to pay shipping, which is also awesome.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. Like I actually started Sick Urethane. It was probably about 12 years ago, and before that, I was just designing clothing under Sick Apparel, and we transitioned into making wheels, and that's kind of where like I kind of started my inline skating endeavors and stuff like that was pretty much just through skating. Yeah. You know, developing things for like skaters and like-minded people, and that's kind of how it developed. And, you know, I have my inline skating stuff, and then now I've got SKATE ANGELO is kind of the stuff I'm developing to, you know, help kids around here and giving back to the local community through the skate park development and stuff like that.
Oh, so. That's cool, man. I told my wife I was having you on. She's like, oh my God, I want rollerblades.
My wife loves to rollerblade too.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she said when she was growing up, she got a pair of rollerblades and she was up and down. Yeah. They had a sidewalk on her neighborhood. That was hers, up and down, up and down, up and down.
My wife was a car hop.
Oh, she loves skating.
Hey, that's awesome. They make good money doing it.
Shit, yeah, they do.
A lot of it. I have a friend, Amy, that does that in California. And she says she's a professional quad skater, and she like has part income. Some of her best income is coming from the tips that she makes at Sonic. Because, I mean, she's a, you know, fairly established, you know, pro quad skater, so she's well known, but she's also very likable. Yeah. And so people, you know,
that's cool.
Tip very well. So it's good money.
Oh, yeah.
And it's cool.
I used to lay my entire check in a night.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Just on tips.
Just on tips. Saturday night, bros.
Yeah, she says she makes $400 or $500 on good nights on tips, and I'm like, on a car hop.
Yeah.
People might look down on that. I'm like, man, they're making bartender money, dude.
That's money right there.
Yeah. Slanging it. I ain't hating
that. Yeah, I know everybody's got to hustle.
Yeah.
It's better than OnlyFans. I mean,
when they had the roller derby.
Exactly.
When they had the roller derby here, my wife wanted to join.
I remember the roller derby. They still do that?
No. I don't think so.
I don't think they do.
There used to be a league here. I don't know if they do it anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they do it
anymore.
I'll
ask. I know a couple of quad.
Because Drea, she was a roller derby. And I'm like, damn, yeah. Because
they should do it.
Yeah, she looks. I don't say dainty or whatever, but you know, I would say I was like I just wouldn't picture her being a roller.
Well, they get
roller
rough.
derby. Oh,
No,
dude,
yeah,
have
they
you
Some of
do.
those
seen-
girls get wild.
Yes,
Though, man. You wouldn't
And
think.
They come out
Yeah,
there with bloody noses.
I'm like, wait a minute, you're tougher than I thought you were.
Yeah, that's what brings them out sometimes.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
a little fierce.
that's
Cool.
that's their outlet.
Yeah.
You think they're all nice and dainty and whatever, and then they get on the roller derby and you're like, what the fuck? Who is
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, she's like, I'm,
like,
I'm Brianna bitch ass now, and it just comes out and just starts swinging elbows, you know. So it's crazy.
Barbiana.
Barb-
Brianna, there you go. Yeah.
And Hacker
So
Man.
for our female listeners, if you know if you're part of a roller derby league, let us
Or at
know.
least start one back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know.
Holler at
We
us
wanna-
for sure. We
wanna
would like
talk
to have
about
y'all on. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's interesting.
Oh,
It
very,
is.
very.
it. Yeah, that would be awesome.
There's like I said, there's a lot of stuff that happens in San Angelo that I
We
mean,
don't even know.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the cool thing about this is getting to find out all the different things that people are into around San Angelo. Like, wait, I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
Like that's a real thing, yo. Like the RC car racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a track here.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they do it out by the where Angelo Paintball is.
Oh, no shit.
Right next to it, there's a track.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
And they're like high end cars. Like
Dude, those things are expensive.
Yes.
Dude. Expensive habit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got that money. My expendable stuff, skating. I spend like $300 on a pair of skates, and I feel like I'm going lavish. And
Going
people
hard.
are dropping like $1,200, $1,500 on a little
Oh,
RC
yeah.
car, and I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, we had one of our guests, Noel, and after
Yeah,
he
yeah.
left, I went and bought me one. And man, I couldn't keep parts on that thing because my son
break.
kept slamming up against trees, up against
Yeah.
the fence. And I'm like, yeah, all right, let's put this on the back burner because it's hard to get.
it
Some
gets
are
expensive, and the
expensive
parts
hobby.
are hard to get the parts. You know, I've seen some videos out of California where people will be like rollerblading in a group, and they'll be like, of course, California they got like a lot of hills. I want to say they're probably San Francisco because it's even more hilly over there.
Oh, yeah.
But they'll be like way up on the
Bombing
street,
hills.
and they're just going like as fast as they can, and they got people watching the side streets, and I'm like, oh my god, if somebody
That stuff is
decides.
so dumb to me.
Dude,
I
they're
don't
going,
get it.
they're going
I don't
so
get it.
fast on rollerblades. I'm like, how the fuck are those skates even keeping it together? Because you know that
yeah.
heat,
Right.
you know that heat is tearing them
Oh.
up, and they're on the street.
Yeah. Now, my friend Eric Garcia, he's a legend out of San Francisco. He actually did this. He jumped out on the Golden Gate Bridge going about 75 miles per hour, holding onto the side of a car.
Holy
and got,
shit.
and was skitching is what they called it. But yeah, and this was on like aggressive skates, which are like the ones they do tricks with, and it's not even like a racing skate. And he did that, and he skitched. But I have another friend that actually has I think it's the world flatland record for like speed skating. His name's Gabe Holm. He's out of I think Massachusetts. He owns a skate shop called Thorough Skate Shop. He went over like 90 something miles per hour on inline skates. Yeah, he had to have like specially made like urethane and frames that were like would fit his skates. He had to like literally have like cuffs like tied down with like electrical tape to be able to like keep his legs from like the shock and the reverb and all this stuff from, you know, like compromising his performance. It was crazy.
That is
So at 90 miles an hour, I guess are we close to those wheels blowing apart?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
normal
are right.
skate wheels would explode.
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, even going, I've had wheels explode going like I've been like skitched by cars and stuff like that going like 40 miles an hour. And
No
the wheels
shit.
will explode. Yeah, it's like once you get past a certain speed limit.
Yeah.
And
That
40 when in a car feels like no big deal. 40 on skates feels like you are going back in time. Like it is different, you know? And it's like I've gotten even higher than that, but it's like you start getting the speed wobbles and shaking.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like when I see kids doing those like big freaking hill bombs and stuff, I'm like, you're not going to have enough time to change your course.
No.
And if you do biff it, you're ripping off all the skin on your body.
Yeah.
Like it ain't worth the trick clip that you're going to get out of that. Because all you're just going to be like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Whee, you went from that one to the down. You know, it's not as cool as you think it is.
Yeah.
And you're risking your life.
Yeah.
I
that's-
ain't
yeah.
doubt that.
Those guys scare me, and the ones that are go down the windy roads.
Oh
And they
yeah,
got
yeah.
those. I don't know what kind of gloves those are.
Oh, I've seen those.
Oh,
Yeah.
So they come around and they kind of they like duck, you know, down. They put their hands down on the roads.
Yeah.
And dude, I was like, dude, that's this curve you're taking at I don't know how fast you're taking it.
Oh, yeah.
That's death, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You mess up once, you're going off the side of that cliff. You're dead.
Mulholland Drive, I think, is the curviest road.
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think they shut that road down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's super curvy.
Super crazy. Yeah, I know. There's a couple of like famous skate spots that are like right near that area. And it's crazy. It looks way different in person, and you're just like, oh, it puts into perspective like how wild that road is. Yeah. And it's like, no, I ain't about that.
Yeah,
no.
I've climbed one mountain. That's it.
Yeah,
and of course these aren't mountains; these are probably really tall hills.
Yeah.
But if there's any, and it's not even like half the height, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
What's the curviest road you ever taken on a motorcycle? Because that's something else too.
Yeah.
Curvy ass roads on a motorcycle.
yeah.
Burma Road.
Burma Road's curvy as fuck.
Curvy, but that's
curvy.
I couldn't. I know my mentality. Like my dad he rode motorcycles the majority of his life, and like he tried to give me one, and I'm like, I'm not the guy. Like I know my mentality. I couldn't get on a motorcycle and make it out alive. So I'm like, I'm best not to even get one because I will be a grease spot. Someone's foot on it. You know, it's like I'll get on that thing and be like, oh, and then 100 miles per hour later, and I'm in a tree.
It's hard when you make that turn. You have to get gas it because it's just natural. You want to gas it. You want
the feeling that you get is awesome, but sometimes you can push it a little bit too far, and you're like, oh, there's gravel there. Shit.
It's like, oh yeah, and the road conditions are the thing. Like you can be an incredible rider, and it's the conditions. Like my dad got in a bad accident. It was just a grease spot in the road. I mean, and he broke like 2 vertebrae in his back, cracked his helmet. I mean, all kinds of bad stuff.
Yeah.
And that was just like on the 30-mile-per-hour road near Grape Creek, and it was just a slick spot. And fell over.
Yep. I got a bird to the fucking dome.
Bird to the dome.
Bird to the dome.
Yeah, man. I was on my motorcycle, dude, and
You'll knock the shit out of
Hell
you.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
especially at 75.
You have a helmet on?
Yeah, I had a helmet on.
Thank
luckily.
God, man.
But
you
that
get a beak to the face or something.
Man.
Yeah.
But that was, I've been hit hard with that helmet on, but I don't think I've ever been nothing compared to what that does. Because 70 miles an hour, bird comes out of the bar ditch and I catch that some bitch straight on.
Mike Tyson got you.
Oh yeah, It rocked me, man. It rocked me good.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was able to put my feet down, put my head on the gas tank, and I coasted. I coasted till I stopped.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That could have been even worse.
Sure, dude.
Because I mean, there's people coming the opposite direction. You could have went that side of the road.
If anything, I could have just off the bar ditch.
Oh yeah.
Dude. Well, it's like you could have been knocked out cold. I mean, you probably still got a concussion.
Oh, it was bad.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because all I
see stars.
Oh, I don't think it was stars. It was planets I was seeing.
Oh, okay.
I was like,
that's a concussion. Then
I had no idea where I was. All I knew is that I was still on my feet were down. They were rubbing on the road.
Wow.
I was just like, just do that. I'm sitting there laying. My head's like
trying to bring yourself to a stop.
Yeah. Just so that I got that. Once I got that, I kind of rolled over, let the bike fall.
Jeez.
And I was like, man,
damn it.
You're lucky that's all that happened, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have been thrown into traffic. God knows what.
What fucking one of those little June bugs, bro? You ever caught those?
I haven't had one hit me like in the face area. And I was actually wearing a summertime jacket. So it's like all mesh, but then you have like it has pads like in your, like on your elbow, your shoulder, different spots. Fucking thing, you're riding like this. Goddamn June bug hit me right here on the inside. Where luckily it's still mesh, but that still fucking hurt, bro.
I caught one right there.
Bearskin?
Wow.
Yep.
Oh shit!
Left me a big old welt, man.
Damn.
My wife was like, "Don't you be riding that motorcycle no more." And I was like, "Don't tell me what to do."
What is that they say? Just for the slide, not the ride.
Yep.
Right.
I never would have understood that before. I'm like, no, well, they just learn how to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah,
No. Dress for the worst. For real, man. Yeah. Everyone on the street's out to kill you. Think of it like that.
Oh yeah,
pretty much.
You have to be defensive.
Oh,
big time.
Yeah.
I've scared myself a couple of times, and it was me that did it because I thought somebody was gonna run the stop sign. I see them there, and I'm going. I'm as I'm getting closer, they're still rolling. I'm like, fuck, is this dude gonna go? Like, what is he doing? Like, he's not coming to a complete stop, and I start to fucking brake, and I'm like, fuck, okay, he stopped. So then I gas it, and then he rolls again, and I fuck, oh shit! As I'm like there, like,
you can tell he probably didn't see you,
dude. Yeah. I like that's what I'm so worried about because they really can't see you. Like it's like, especially if they just look once, and then they get their phone out.
Oh yeah, well people are so on their phone all the time, and like
it's horrible.
I sat on North Chadbourne skating one time, and I was just like kind of chilling. I was just watching people that passed by, And I was like, you know what? Give me a minute. I'm going to count everybody that's sitting there on their phone while they're driving.
Oh, yeah.
After 30, I stopped counting. And this was after like maybe a minute and a half. I was just like, it was like practically every other car was someone on their phone.
Yep.
And you could just tell. And they're just like, and they would have it like right in front of them, like a Pop-Tart, like driving. And I'm like, dude, you're not fooling anybody.
What's crazy is that they have no idea how much distance they cover. The time that they took, because the time gets longer every time they sit there and look at the phone, because they're like, well, I didn't get an accident, so you get too comfortable. Now you're, this 30-second glance at my phone, look at the road.
I could do it.
Turns into 10 seconds. Yeah. Turns into 15. And granted, 15's a lot. That's a lot of time. Oh, yeah. Well, I have seen it where I'm like, he literally ran that red light.
See them just coasting through it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, scary. Oh, man.
You'll see somebody, you ever pass by, they have like those mounts that are kind of like up high, and you can see there's a movie playing. So they're driving, watching the movie.
Unfortunately, I'm guilty of that. But I'm on the highway. Yeah. But I'm not watching, I'm listening to the movie. Sometimes.
I was like, you ain't fooling nobody. Everybody outside, they're like, you lying ass.
That's funny because you know what? I thank God for the DPS, the Texas Department of Transportation, for putting in the rumble strips.
Oh yeah,
because if it wasn't for that,
helping us out, I saved my ass a few times. So.
I remember. I think the last thing that I had almost happened to me. It's been a while since I rode the bike. Like I take it out around the block just to keep everything so it doesn't stay with bad gas, or it makes it needs to be ran. I came to a stoplight and I didn't see the grease spot, the oil spot. Yeah. And I go to put both feet down, and I started to slip, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I had to lean the other way and put all the weight on this leg because I almost dropped it that way. Well, but you just don't. Sometimes you just don't see them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're just coming up to stop, and I just put my feet down and I started to slip out from underneath me. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Do you ever rollerblade on the roads?
Oh yeah,
you do a lot.
Oh yeah, I do like distance skating and stuff like that. So like I have like
I feel like that'd be
my
so
stunt.
hard.
I have like my stunt set up for like tricks and stuff like that. But then I have like my recreational like cardio setup where I have like bigger wheels to roll on the streets and stuff like that.
Oh shit! Okay.
So I have different toys for different facets.
Depends on the.
Yeah. Well, ones I do like tricks and stuff like that on, I have it like set a certain way, and then like ones where if I want to cover a big distance of space quickly, I'll put on my big wheel skates and skate those.
Were you skating like around Bell Street, Pulliam area yesterday, or like maybe around 5:30?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah, you saw me?
I saw you.
Yeah. I was skating this little rail right by
There's like a bar right there, and there's like a water water
that billiards
station.
Place.
Yeah.
That was me. Yep.
Damn, that's crazy. We were on our way to go watch a movie.
That was right behind that KFC.
Sinners.
Yep.
Oh.
But, yeah. But
you saw me?
April was like, "There's somebody rollerblading." I was like, "There's nobody rollerblading. Nobody rollerblades. I haven't seen anybody rollerblading so damn long."
I'm the last of the Mohicans.
and then we drive, and I was like, "Holy shit, he's rollerblading!"
That was me. That was totally me. I actually have a clip of me skating this little rail that was right behind that KFC right there. Or no, it was a Pizza Hut.
It's a Pizza Hut. That's right.
Yep, that was me yesterday.
Oh shit!
I'm always street skating.
No,
that's why
that's
a lot
cool.
of people see me. They're like, "Oh, I saw you on North Chadbourne," or "I saw you over there skating that rail," and I'm just like, "Yep, that's me, man." I'm out on the streets all the time.
It's like you don't see a lot of people rollerblading. It's just like, I don't. Maybe there's a lot more around town.
Like in California, for sure.
For sure over there,
I'm like one of the few last remaining ones. Like, I mean, granted, I've been doing it so long, I'd never stopped skating, but it's like we have a small kind of select group of skaters that still skate around town. But I'm one of the last ones that have been kind of doing what I do. Like they call it aggressive or freestyle land skating and stuff like that, but doing the tricks and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, I was watching some of your videos yesterday, and I'm like, man, like the coordination, the feet coordination. I'm just like, I would like
30 years of practice.
So. Oh yeah.
It's a lot of spills and pain, but I've gotten pretty good.
You ever broken anything?
I've broken a lot of stuff. I can go down the list. I've cracked my skull.
Break out the my chart.
Broken. Yeah, literally. I think like 7 out of my 10 fingers I've broken. Broken 2 slip discs in my back. Dislocated my knee. God, one of the worst ones I got, I had freaking broken my tailbone.
Oh.
That was one of the worst ones. And then also got like a laceration literally in my ass crack. Like
Oh my god!
I'll call it the credit card. So just think about your asshole and your ass crack, and think about a rail sliding it like this, like a credit card.
Oh my god!
So I basically credit carded myself on a handrail in Austin, Texas, and it was so bad that I basically split myself open. I gave myself an Oz, and I gave myself a second asshole. So it was fantastic. But I didn't even realize how bad it was. I was sitting on my friend Rob's couch after it was done, and I was just like, man, that hurt, But I don't realize how bad it was. And I get up to go use the restroom, and I come out, and he's like, dude, I don't know how to tell you, man, but you were bleeding on my couch.
Damn.
And he's like, you might want to check like how bad that was. And I'm like, oh fuck, dude. And I like literally, sure enough, I left a freaking like a blood spot on his couch. Like I feel bad. Like I had a bad, period problem. But like I literally, and he's my boy, Rob Zabranik. Shout out Rob. Yeah, he literally had to like look at my ass and tell me like how bad it was. And he was like, yeah, man, you got a pretty bad laceration like in your ass crack. And it was one of the most excruciating pains because
start moving around.
It doesn't heal like normal spots. I mean,
I imagine not. Yeah, that's part of your movement. Like every time you move, you're gonna disrupt that.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it's like a winking, opening all the time. I mean, it's like I have a second eye open. It's like it's terrible.
Yeah.
But that was one of the most difficult injuries I dealt with. I mean, I literally had to buy like one of those freaking like hernia pillows. Yeah, the donuts, and I was like sitting on one of those like. Goddamn. Feeling like an old man, and I was having to buy like Preparation H and stuff like that, and looking like I have freaking hemorrhoids and shit. Like, it was embarrassing, man. I'll be honest, and it was just part of it. It took a while for it to heal because I mean, think about where it is. Yeah. But that was one of the worst injuries I've had. I mean, I've had lots, but that was one of the worst ones for sure. Yeah. I've had like road rash over like all my body before. But that was one of the ones that definitely was. It took
one to remember.
It took part of my soul.
So
it was tough, man. So part of the it's a passion of love, I guess. It's like I still continue to do it despite all the abuse I put myself through. Yeah, so.
It sounds cool. I mean that doesn't sound cool, but just
having the passion. For something
having the passion for it, man.
Like that.
But then again, you got to think about those other because I've watched a couple of videos where like, yeah, man, I took a spill on a rail and I had to get up and I had to shove my testicle back into my nutsack and go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh my god,
I've seen that too. I've seen that. This kid that used to skateboard, I remember seeing him split his nuts open at Central High School. He literally had done it, and then he put his hand down his pants, and he's like, oh, and he pulls his hand out, and it's like bloody and. Come to find out, he lost one of his boys that day.
Damn it!
And it had basically like burst the grape. It's like I mean,
God,
for lack of a better term, So homie's Uno for the rest of his life, unless he's got an airbag put in that thing. I don't
pour
know.
one out for the boys.
Yeah. Cheers to Uno. Sorry about that. So it's a tough life, man. Skating's no joke.
Damn it.
Yeah.
You have to really love it.
You really do.
Oh yeah. You graduated from Central?
Mm-hmm. Oh, year 2000. So I'm an old MFA. So yeah.
Yeah. I would have graduated in 2001 from Central.
I graduated in 99.
Yeah,
God.
Last millennium.
There you go.
Class 2006 right here.
Damn, 06.
Yeah, we're all old.
Yeah. But it's still cool though. It's cool that man that you get out and do it every day.
Yeah, I do. I literally do it like as much as I can, like probably more than I should, but
our generation was definitely out there doing it. I mean, you're still here doing it. The new generation. Do you see a lot of younger kids that are getting into it
Yeah, and there's
as much as they used to.
Yeah, and there's a big following. Like rollerblading is not as big in San Angelo as it is in other areas, but I mean, it's like there was just a juniors contest in Houston last weekend. There's a ton of kids down there and a big community of skaters. And I actually was supposed to go down there, and sadly I didn't make it. But there's a huge developing group. I mean, it's since COVID happened, we've seen a big uptick as far as inline skating. I've also seen it in the skateboarding community. I've talked to BMXers too, and across a lot of the action sports community, there's been an uptick in participation, and it's great to see. And it's sad it took something as drastic as COVID to kind of pull people back into doing more physical activities. But that's it. Kind of like what we were talking about before, is that it kind of put life into perspective, and you're like, I don't want to be, stuck relegated inside and indoors and all this stuff. Like, is this my life? Is this what I'm going to be doing? Like, stuck on my phone and my tablet? Like,
there's so much more out there. Yeah.
God, there's so much more to life than scrolling.
COVID for a lot of people would hit the reset button.
For sure.
Where it's like, man,
as bad as it was.
Because, I mean, what we were talking about before is like, I thought that was normal. Hey, you're an adult now. It's normal to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. That's normal.
Yeah.
Right. So if you want stuff, you got to go work for it. And you don't have time for anything else, especially with, hours like that. That's like 12, 15 hours a day.
Homework.
Right. That's it. And I thought for the longest time that was normal. And then COVID happened. I'm like, oh, damn. Oh, what was I What was I doing? I was working myself to death for what?
Yeah.
And
then so many people were like, people don't want to work anymore and all this kind of like BS. And it kind of created that, like, that conversation of like that old world mentality of like talking crap about the youngsters not wanting to work. And it's like, I think it really put into perspective for a lot of young people. It's like, I don't want to slave myself for like, like petty bullshit jobs when I could be doing something better and maybe making something like this, like something where I can like utilize my skills and things that I'm good at to provide for myself and not be someone else's puppet, know? So it's like, it's cool that there's not that reliance on the old world ways of doing things. So it's like, if the new kids can do what they want to do, whether it's, YouTube channels or Twitching or doing like whatever it is, OnlyFans, whatever it is, whatever kind of income you can make off of your hustles. Like, I mean, I never would have thought about I'd be where I am when I was younger, like where I'm in the positions I'm in. But it takes just kind of like knowing, like, you know what, F it, I'm going to try it. And if it doesn't work, I fail, whatever. But, through trial and error, you learn that it's not nearly as difficult as just taking that initial step and just going for it.
Yeah. That's the biggest part. It's just doing it.
Leap of faith.
Yeah.
It really is, So.
Yeah, because, I mean, I was listening to, what's his name? Robert Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, it spoke to me. Some of the stuff he was saying, It was like, hey, you just got to get started. And then don't worry about what the art is. Don't worry about what you're doing, because your creativity will come out through what you're doing.
For sure.
It'll spill out, And I'm like, man, so I told you, I was like, man, maybe I should do some of them short movies that I wanted to do. And I'm like, man, because
we have the equipment.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I wrote down, and I won't say it's scripts, but, the points and stuff. I was like, all right. So they'll pop into my head. I'm like, this is a storyline. So I'd write it down. I got it in my truck. I'm like, man. That's what
work it, dude.
Yeah, you know what? It's probably gonna suck, but it'd be cool anyway.
But everything sucks at the beginning until it becomes better, you know. And it's like everyone started from nothing, but by sucking for so long, you slowly get better at everything. It's like, and you don't realize until you start getting towards the end of it, and you're like, you know what? I winged it, and I kind of like do that kind of every little bit, like a drop in the bucket mentality, until it overflows, and you realize it took all those little droplets to get me to where I'm at. You know, no one starts off being a savant at what they're doing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
So, that was my biggest issue too.
What I was going to tell you is, we had whenever there's like a podcast in San Angelo, we find out about, oh man, there's this other podcast. We try to reach out to them and like, y'all want to come on? Maybe we can go on y'all's, y'all come on ours. We had another podcast in town called 3 at Random, and JD. He does all of their video, editing and everything. And he did a skit where they were pushing our podcast a little bit, and it was pretty cool. I like what they did. Yeah. And I was like, you wanted to do like some like a little short skit like that. And I was like, maybe holler at him and just be like, hey man, give me a few pointers on how to go about doing like a 15-second or 10-minute skit or something like that, because he seems like he's into it. Pretty
definitely,
good,
and self-taught. You know,
self-taught. Yeah,
it's so. I was like, man, where do you
shout out 3 at Random?
Yeah, shout out 3 at Random. Yeah, it was just mind blowing because I see some of his videos and I'm like, wow, that's cool. I was like, I wish I knew how to do that.
but you can though.
Yeah, definitely I can. I need to work on my patience though.
Our problem is well, patience and managing our time better. We are so damn terrible at it. I mean, we somehow
y'all
make
are all
it
adults with other hustles, so I get that.
I don't know how we do it, but we somehow make Wednesday the priority. Like, sorry, this is what's happening.
This is
Wednesday.
priority.
Yeah, this is a priority.
Yeah,
and especially since we have guests that are coming over now. You know, at first it was just us, but we were just trying to like making sure, can we be here on time every Wednesday? And now we have guests coming on. Well, we don't want to waste nobody's time, so we need to be here because the guests are going to be here. So it's like, I don't know, somehow we've been able to make it work for 2 years now.
Well, that's like the thing about success, from what I gather from like all of these self-help books and videos, it's really just commitment and dedication to a schedule. You know, it's like find a regimen and stick with it. You know, it's like find something you do every single day and try a little bit every day. And that's the way I've gotten to where it's just like it becomes so routine. Every single day I'm doing something. I'm posting something. I'm working towards another goal or something. I'm staying active. That's cool. And like people ask like, where do I do that? Like, how do I do that? I'm just like, find your thing and just stay consistent. Like you say, it's like every single day, figure out something to get you there, you know? And it's like, I was just telling one of my friends who's dealing with some adversity now, I'm just like, look, just set a goal and just like slowly chip away at it. You know, it's like you don't have to like do the big things all at once, but just slowly, like, what can I do today? Like, whether it's a vacation, whether it's buying something, or whether it's spending more time with your kids, like whatever it is, like break it down into manageable steps. And it's like you don't realize it, and then when it's there, you know, just mark that fucker off and go on to the next one. You know, so it's manageable once you kind of like slowly just train yourself like to be focused.
I read a book that says I think it's called Atomic Habits, and that's exactly what it's talking about is taking small bites and they eventually become bigger. Like, don't just like if you're working out, you don't just jump in, workout. Your first workout, you're gonna start going maxing out immediately, you know, for an hour and a half.
That's what I do.
You'll be so fucked.
Yeah, and I don't ever go back.
You will, exactly. You're gonna hate it so much after that. Yeah, you hurt yourself even, and it's like, no, don't do that. Just go in there, give yourself 15 minutes, and just hit a couple of like light, you know, workout stuff just to get yourself in the groove of it. Wait a couple of days and then come back again.
I said I'll go to crunch and I'll put the weight on. I'm like, not enough, a little bit more, not enough, do some more. You know, and then the next day I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sore.
Dead. Yeah.
And I'm like, but it feels like I have to get something done. Like if I do like a light workout, I'm like, well, I just wasted my whole time here. But it's a mental block.
As long as you break a sweat.
Oh, I'm always
That's all that really matters. As long as you're
the next day, I'm just like, nope.
I mean, but you don't have to go. You don't have to go like maxing out though. That's the problem. You're like maxing out, and then you fucking hate it. You're like, nope, fuck it, it's not for me.
Yeah. This is why I don't do it.
I literally worked out for 45 minutes of nothing.
You're like, look
I don't
at
know
that.
why I'm not seeing the results.
All I'm eating a cheeseburger. This is dumb.
This is dumb.
I got the Diet Coke. I don't know why it's not showing.
Exactly.
That's. I mean, you're right. I guess. I mean, you didn't build a fucking house with one brick.
That's right. Yeah. It's like the small things. Yeah.
Yeah, break it down.
Yeah, definitely got to try, man, because it's so cool. I mean, like right now, me and my kids, we're building, you know, we work on go-karts. You know, that's awesome. Kind of our thing, you know, and that just started here recently.
That's cool.
And, dude, it's so much fun, man. Now, the only problem now is that I need to build me a go-kart big enough for me to get in. Because I'll, you know.
Get you a four-wheeler, man. Those are fun as
See,
hell.
my thing is I like to build from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where it's like.
Oh, believe me, you can.
Oh, a four-wheeler?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, wow.
You could just, my dad bought 2 of them, and you can build them from the ground up. I mean, if you have the money, you can get crazy.
Well, go-karts are cheaper.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Little Harbor Freight,
sure.
you know, 6 horsepower motor, you're good.
Yeah.
But, man, there's so much fun, dude. Those mini bikes we built, you know. And what we did, I already had mini bikes. So I was like, hey, let's customize these to fit a little bit better. Because, I mean, those little motors have a lot of torque.
Yeah,
There's some power on those things, dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
I pulled up to their house because the podcast studio used to be at his house in the back. There was a shed, and when I pulled up, they were
all
all
moving up in the world.
Yeah, they were all riding around in the cul-de-sac in their mini bikes, and I was like, "That's fucking cool." He's like, "You want to try it?" And I was like, "Sure." He was like, "Watch out, it's a little bit torquey." God damn,
right?
Man, I fucking took off and that thing almost flipped. Yeah, almost flipped over. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
it was hella torquey.
Yeah, so we took those, man. We extended them so you wouldn't have to worry. You know, you can gas it without.
Flipping it
without flipping your kids off.
Yeah, because my kids like they get a little too happy with them. But man, we do that, and I was just like, you know what? Like right now, I'm cleaning the shed. You know, because I'm gonna turn it into a workshop.
That's the old studio.
Yeah, the old studio is still there.
He's all sad.
Yeah, it's still there.
I can't convert it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's my movie room now.
Oh yeah, the man cave.
Yeah, and then the other half of the shed is just but we're gonna be working. Yeah, workshop. Yeah.
That's cool.
But I'm like, man, because I mean, I was like, you know, I do something with them, you know.
No.
And
that's
I'm
something
like,
they'll remember though.
Oh yeah. And I'm like, man, there's something. I always go on Facebook. Is there like a go-kart club? You know, somewhere where people build stuff and nothing yet.
There used to be
if you build it, they will come.
There used to be a racing,
there you go.
A go-kart racing club here in San Angelo, but they were like.
Yeah, they were
expensive and they would go super fast. Like these were the kids that when they got done with that, they were looking at like eyeballing F1 racing.
Yeah.
Because they were like,
take it to the real.
Yeah. Like it was like that. Like they were like deep into that shit. I used to, this kid I used to go to high school with, he lived out in Grape Creek and they had a track out there in like, he had some 5-acre property and they had a track for go-karts, but the go-karts looked like F1 cars.
Yes.
Like what's that place over in Austin called?
Yeah, there were shifter carts.
Was that what they're called? Mm-hmm. What's that place in Austin called though?
There was a place called Rock something.
No. It's
F1.
Is it called F1?
Mm-hmm. There's F1. There's the Andretti. Well, that's in San Antonio.
Okay, but it's like that.
Park.
But they were. Oh yeah, Austin Park too, right? Yeah. They look like miniature F1 race cars, but they're
badass.
Yeah, they're way badass.
Oh, you're talking about F1, yeah.
And they use like alcohol. Like top fuel, like what the fuck? Yeah. These are like little go karts. You know what I mean? They're using
they're trying to kill your kids.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. The kids are wearing like fire suits and fucking full face helmets.
Gear.
Yes, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm ready for that. Yeah.
I mean, these are like kids though. Like holy.
Yeah, there were.
Shit.
I think there was different classes. I think the top class was 140 cc.
Oh wow!
You know,
damn.
So, yeah,
on a go kart.
Yeah, and I think there were 6-speed. So with those, you can get up to 80 miles an hour in second gear. Oh yeah,
it's a lot of power for.
Oh dude, it's fun though. Grown adults racing too.
Oh yeah,
you know, like I said, there used to be a club here in San Angelo, and they would go around racing. Like it was this club would go to like Austin, and they would race another club over there. You know,
unfortunately, though, I would never be part of a group like that, even if I had the money, because they're real. I mean. Huh?
Like cliquey? Or
there you go. They're real cliquey. Like I'm more of the hobbyist.
Oh, okay, I got you.
You know, whereas like there should be a group of just hobbyist builders to go out. Maybe I don't know. It would be cool to build a track,
like Mad Max and that shit.
If you wanted to,
hell yeah,
you know?
Hell yeah,
that would be the way to do it,
right?
If I want to be on it, I'm going to be a Mad Max.
Yeah,
Twisted Metal.
You know,
metal. Hell yeah.
I want to be slashing tires of the opposing team, man. They're going down. Forget it.
So I mean, that's just I thought about it, and I'm like, well, of course, I don't know how. I wouldn't even know where to start. But like the hobbyist group,
yeah,
where it's like, hey man, we got a track out here. You're more than welcome to bring your stuff out and race it. It just has to follow these rules.
Yeah,
you know, because you got to have rules. Because if you don't, somebody's gonna show up with something janky and kill somebody or kill themselves.
All the parts are all over the track. You know.
yeah. You don't want nothing like that, you know. But I mean, I was like, man, that'd be cool. That'd be so cool to have.
Get you a little track of land and make it.
Yeah.
So if any listeners out there want to make
ranch, you know,
hobbyist
there you go. It's something to aim for. Remember, we're talking about goals.
Oh,
there you go. That's your goal right there.
That is actually a pretty.
That's a good.
I mean, it would be a good goal, man. Because I'm like,
kids need something to do around here.
Exactly. And my whole thing would be like put a carport, like a big carport area, where people who didn't have a welder, didn't have a type, you know, that stuff.
Right.
Okay, go buy the material, bring it. We have a welder right there. We have some torches. We have whatever you need. You know. But you're gonna have to sign a waiver. So
that was my next thing. That was my next thing.
That's
like,
a must.
Make them sign a waiver though, because that should have come back.
There's got to, because I mean, I would like to have something like that where the kids will learn how to build stuff.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it's just like, well, Dad, why don't you just buy it for me?
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, have you ever paid attention what the go-karts are?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You go. Tractor Supply has a little Coleman go-kart, $1,800.
Damn.
And that's like low end stuff. That's not.
That's
even the
very
high
low end. Yeah. Which I'm like, man, it's hard to.
Is there still shop class?
That's a very good question.
Yeah, they still got them.
They
I know
still?
for like like shop and electrical. I think they still have like drafting classes and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah,
They said like because I mean back in the
Trades.
day they had like was it mechanic shop? They had wood shop. There was a welding. Wasn't there a welding shop too?
Yeah.
And I think at Central, because I remember going to Central, because I went to Lakeview, but I remember we had to go to Central. They had a class where it was like an electronics class. You can take a goddamn computer apart and put it all back together again.
No. Well, now they're gonna have like TikTok or Instagram 101.
Yeah, now it's like
now,
probably
well,
like
they for have
social
that stuff.
media.
It's like social media creation.
and
It's like multimedia. I think it's what it's called.
Multimedia.
I mean, we had that back in our day, like back in the Stone
I did take
Ages.
multimedia.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had that then. I remember learning like web hosting and like HTML, like when I first.
I remember
I did
that,
that
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I mean,
remember
it's
that.
weird, but that was like the first like
That was
start of like web
Internet
design I did.
1.0.
For real.
That's what that was.
Yeah.
That was
It
before
was.
JavaScript.
HTML.
Yeah, that
slash
was like
dot, dot.
AOL freaking dial-up.
AOL.
How was that?
Yeah.
Old school.
Go home and
CompuServe.
design my own MySpace.
What was the other one? Netscape.
Netscape.
Yeah, I need to watch on Max the Y2K, that horror movie.
Oh shit! I
Oh.
haven't seen that one.
It's very nostalgic for you guys.
Wow.
Whoa!
It's
Y'all
nostalgic
guys-
for me, okay, as well.
for me,
I did
but
talk
y'all.
about this whenever I went to watch it. And I was like, man, that kind of takes me back.
Y'all old dinosaurs that love that shit.
Oh,
Shade this direction.
I'm sorry. You know what I meant.
Y'all's dial up.
I was including me in that too.
It's okay.
It take like 2 days to download a song.
Or
Damn
what was
you,
it?
LimeWire.
Shazam or Shazam?
Along with AIDS on your
Crosswire.
computer.
LimeWire.
LimeWire,
Oh, yeah, the
Frostwire.
good times of piracy. That was the
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
man. I love
I remember because my
Napster.
cousin used to download Dragon Ball Z and burn them on CDs, and he would sell them on eBay. You know, and he'd go down to download an episode, right? And you go look at the computer, and there's like time left, 3 days.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my god,
real. Yeah.
It's like 72 hours.
dude, that's so nuts, man. Like 3 days, yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, I remember like making a skate video back in the day, and it took like literal days for the thing to master.
Yes.
So it was like
Oh,
the primitive days of like the internet, and it was like YouTube barely first came out, and I remember uploading it, and it was like 2 or 3 days is how long it took to upload back then. And I remember it failing like multiple times. It would get to like 90 something, and then he'd be like, I'm almost there. And then it would be like, connection failed. And you'd have to start all over again.
How
It'd be
long does it
crushed.
take for you to upload a video onto YouTube? One of these episodes.
It depends, right?
Depends on how long the video
it
is, but on average about 2 hours, 2.5 hours on average.
Wow, still.
Yeah,
Damn.
but it's
That
It would have been
but
like
now,
2 weeks back then.
But now it's not so much because it takes long to upload. It's because YouTube is going through the video. They have an AI that's going through the video.
Yep.
Right. They're watching all
Scanning
of it
it.
for, you know, copyright.
Making
all of
sure
that,
it's
yeah.
all legit.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm sure this video in the background. Well, it's commercial, so it just,
Well, this is on that camera, so that's only if we're.
oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah, they're
I
scanning
swapped to it a couple times, a little bit, not just while
Oh,
you're
okay.
fixing the camera, so because it went to
We're missing out on Kung Fury.
Kung Fury.
dude. I
Yeah, I
watched
gotta
that
say
whole entire thing. I was like,
You
what?
did have the good way to start the podcast. I
Heck
mean,
yeah.
It gets the energy going.
You have. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but
Unicorn lasers or laser unicorns?
Yeah.
laser raptors.
Triceratops, yeah.
Raptors.
Triceratops and
What
Jameson.
year is this? It's the Viking Age. That explains the laser raptors.
Triceratops. That's Triceratops.
That is
It's-
all.
I work alone.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
no, that was great.
what else? I mean, you have anything coming up in the future?
Yeah. Actually, we got several different events coming up, Skate Angelo events. I'm trying to work on one. We actually have something going on with the people over at Pixel Junkies
Okay.
and Thread Picks. We're doing a upcoming like a thrift market down at 01 Ale House. We're doing that.
That's coming up pretty soon.
That's coming up on the 18th on Sunday, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and then we're organizing another skating event probably for some time in June. So hopefully that. I have another donate and skate contest I'm going to be organizing hopefully in Houston probably sometime around then, and probably another event along with Riverfest. we're working on trying to do something. Big Sid was trying to do something as far as Riverfest and us connecting something with Skate Angelo, so hopefully something then. So we're trying to make a whole lot of stuff going on. I got another Baby D's Skate Bash going on. It's another Mountain View Skate Plaza fundraiser we're doing. I think that's happening in July. So I got a lot of plates I'm dangling now. So I'm busy. So yeah, I got lots of events planned and skate contests I'm going to. So yeah.
So this whole summer is going to be full.
Oh,
sounds like
buddy.
it.
I got all kinds of stuff going on. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Brian from Dead Pigs, man.
Yeah. Brian Duffy, shout out. Brian is a great guy. He's a great supporter of ours, and we got a lot of good people, supporting us, and a lot of great, local businesses. Thread Picks and Pixel Junkies being one of them. Good guys.
Such a cool store. Have you been in it yet?
I haven't been in it yet. There's 3 different stores inside that one, right? It's Pixel Junkies, Thread Picks, and what's the other one?
Spellbound. Yeah, cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to go in there and check it out.
It's got a lot of cool stuff, man. I'm all for like old nostalgic movies, and I mean they got the clothes, they got the toys, they got all kinds of stuff. They got movies, they got vinyl, they got all kinds of cool shit in there. I mean, it's cool to see shops like that, within our town, because we don't have, like Hastings back in the day was like the place where everyone went.
Yeah.
It's cool to have like those shops that people can go and not even necessarily like shop, but just hang out and buy, It's like, that's what we need more of.
That's what Hastings really was. It was a hangout spot.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
I worked there for a little bit, and it was one of the best jobs I had, man. Like, I ate up that employee discount, man. I loved it. It was incredible. I remember like you could figure out how much you spent on like employee discounts. It was obscene, obscene how much I spent on employee discounts in that place, because it was like everything was like discounted.
Something.
And I'd be buying stuff for all my friends too. They'd be like, "Hey, Kevin's got the discount. Hook me up." I'd be like, "Yeah, sure, no problem."
Yeah. My old comic book dealer used to work there, Cruz.
Oh. Yeah,
he used to work
Cruz,
there,
man. Yeah.
I know. I hated to see when his shop closed down, but
God, I wanted to cry too, man. I loved Outer Rim.
That
place was a great shop.
Yeah,
shout out Cruz, man. Great dude.
Yeah.
So, but hopefully we get something else coming back in. You know, it's like, but we do have a lot of other cool shops. Like Dream Sharks is always there. Mark's doing great stuff.
What's that new one, Tiffany?
It is
the one
Downtown
over on
Toys.
Downtown Toys. I just went there the other day.
Yeah, I went there today.
Man, I picked up a Conan the Barbarian Funko I've been on the hunt for like a year, and they had it. I was like, yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, they got some pretty cool stuff in there.
Cool shit. They did do me dirty, though. I'll be honest. I was like sitting there looking in their little comic book case.
Yeah.
And I saw this one. It was like the first appearance of Wolverine. It was in some like, God, was it like the Incredible Hulk? And it was like from the 70s. And I was like, it looked like the original. And I was like, oh. Damn, no way that's an original. It was like for $70. And I was like, y'all have that in original, like in the case? And I was like, I'm buying it. I even told my daughter, I was like, I'm buying that. I don't care how much it is. I'm dropping money on it. And I told them that, like, and they brought it out of the house and they pulled it out. And I'm like sitting there like giddy, like a little school kid. And I like flip it around and it's like a reissue from like the 90s. And I'm like, my heart fell out. And I was like, man, y'all got me all excited for nothing, dude. I'm not dropping $100 on a reissue from the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a comic book junkie. So
man, we've had a couple of them in here.
Yeah,
we've had
bad.
Where I'm just like, okay.
I just gave him some comic books.
I was like, Sean, you got to put your stuff back in your backpack, because I'm really uncomfortable being around.
When Sean, Sean Gould?
Sean who?
Gould.
Oh, no.
Gould.
Yeah.
Maybe I should though.
He
oh man, yeah.
He had some very expensive high-end comic books from back in the day, like first appearances. I mean, what were like $3,000, $4,000 comic books?
Oh, something like, he had about 10, 15 grand.
They were all
that
slabbed.
he brought to the studio.
Yeah, they were all slabbed too. Not Matt. Martin Lucero.
Oh yeah, I know Marty.
So we had both of them in here at the same time. Of course, Martin was providing him with his drug of choice, at the time.
Oh yeah.
And man, but like you said, he had a backpack full, and he would put them out. And the more, as we went on, the more expensive they got. And it was like, bro, should we touch it? Is that okay to touch it?
I can't take it out of the case.
Yeah, they were really cool.
They were pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was just like, and I was like, this is not even the good stuff. He's like, oh no, the good stuff I keep at home.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't take it out of the house if it was that good. So.
Oh man, but
yeah, I love that. My grandmother actually threw away some like super rare. I think my dad had like one of the first like detective comics featuring like Batman when he was in college, and when he went away, she threw away like all of his collection.
Oh no!
And then he came back. He was like, "Where's my comic books at? I had them like in this little storage box or something like that." And she was like, "Oh, I threw those away." And he's like, "You did what?"
Wow.
And they were like, he knew they were rare even then.
Yeah.
Back when he was in school. So, I mean, God knows what they'd be worth now if they were still in condition. I mean, he could have retired off of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just from telling me some of the stuff he had, like Detective Comics 27 and stuff. I'm like,
those are
I love your grandma, but you did them dirty.
Those are like first appearances of Batman. It's like,
Yeah.
Man.
Which was mind blowing. Like, I'm not big into comics. I think they're cool, but then when Martin was all like, "Yeah, I sold a couple of comics to start my insurance agency," I'm like, "I'm sorry, what?" I was like, "Those
they go crazy.
apparently."
Yeah.
Oh,
Wild,
completely mind blown, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Same thing with like Pokemon cards. Like one of my
yeah.
friends,
Yes.
my
That
friend
is
had
wild.
a Pokemon card stolen, and like it was valued at like $20,000 or $30,000, and I'm like, how the fuck do those things get that expensive? But there's a demand for it, just like anything. I'm like,
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just me with
Somebody
that.
that's gonna drop 20 or 30,000. You know what? It's a nerd that works for Apple or works for
Yeah.
Google or
Yep.
something. They've got the money
gotta
to
have
blow.
expendable
And he was like, you know
cash.
what? I remember that card. I want that fucking card. I will spend 20,000. I've got it. Why not?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's how these things.
Man.
I mean, because nerds.
I have to reach out to Sean. I'm like, hey,
Right.
can I take some feet pictures next to one of your comics? So I can start an only feeds page.
Only
Yeah.
feet.
Can I just like
For
For the
look at it
comic
from a
nerds,
distance?
like,
Yeah.
ooh, look at
It's
these
like,
feet.
ooh, that's
next to
nice
the-
feet. Oh my god, is that a first edition?
Ooh.
How expensive do inline skates get?
Oh yeah, that's a really
It could
question.
range anywhere from like 200, like I mean, low end ones like 100 up to like 1,000, or more. I mean, some like high end ones can cost you around like $1,200, but those are like very, very.
Is there any
high-end
collectible
ones.
type ones that you?
Oh
probably
yeah,
would-
like there's like limited edition ones that were like coveted that they only made certain number of.
shit.
And, there's like a certain wheel, like it's called the Roadhouse wheel. It looked like an old Crayola wheel. It was like packaged there, all looked different. And some of those sold on eBay for like, I think it was like $3,000 or something
Damn.
obscene.
Wow.
Because there's those collectors out there that, like you said, they have expendable cash and
Yeah.
they'll blow it on just dumb stuff.
Which is mind blowing because I'm like, dude, like if it's been around for a while, there's collectors.
Yeah, that's
Someone's collecting it.
It's nostalgic for a lot of people, and they're like, I remember that when I was a kid. I want that. I couldn't. Mom wouldn't get it for me then, but I can get it for myself.
See, like here's another one,
Exactly.
like Funko Pops. How long have they been around?
Right.
I'd say
You know,
a
like,
good,
15, 20 years.
15, 20 years,
Yeah.
and boy, they are getting expensive.
yeah.
Well, they're bottoming out though, from what people are saying. Like they're like, oh, they're overproducing them, and now they're like the,
Limiting,
Yeah, they're
how much
not
they're
really
producing.
getting as much value. They're like the Beanie Baby
I was about to say that.
I was afraid that was going to happen. Yeah, I was afraid that.
oversaturation.
Yeah, because there's this one I've been trying to freaking find, and I cannot seem to find it.
the Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al.
There you go,
Not
like
that
that.
one, but
That's the one.
Oh,
I have some Deadpool ones at the house that are kind of. At the time, they were rare. I don't know if they're still rare because like they keep producing. I haven't seen any of those because they're all numbered. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't guess they're making any more of those or
Yeah.
or what. And
Well,
then
yeah, exclusives and
yeah,
all those.
and then I have some that are like they're gold. Like I have
Yeah.
Groot, baby Groot, but he's gold.
right.
I don't even know. Like I bought it because I thought it was cool. I don't know if it's worth anything. I've never even looked it up. I wouldn't even know how to look it up. eBay, I guess.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, like eBay and stuff. I know there was like my wife got me this one. It was like a Death Note character, and it was like, it was a cool character, but I mean, the amount of money she spent on this thing to get it for me was like obscene. And I was like, you shouldn't have spent that on that. I mean, she said I wanted it, and I was like, she got it for me. But
Yeah,
I'm like,
you got it.
Because I looked up at the cost of it, and I was like, Shouldn't have spent that.
Wow.
We got a joint account, girl. What are you doing? I mean, I appreciate it, babe. So, but yeah, some of those things go for wild, especially like the signed ones. I see some of the ones up at like Mark's shop at Dream Shark, and I'm like, do people be spending big money on toys? You know, you know, good for them. You know, it's like we're all grown ass kids, so do whatever you want with your money.
Got a lot of fun coupons.
Now you can have a Funko made of yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Customize them.
I want to Funko myself.
I think Cruz has one. That's the first time I ever saw one.
That's right. He did have one at his shop.
Cruz had one made of himself.
Can we make one with like a table and some microphones?
Yeah,
I'm sure you could.
What to do Funkos?
What to do Funkos?
What did you
Y'all should get
Funkos?
some
Limited edition.
bobbleheads and shit. Y'all need some merchandising. Dude.
Yeah, we definitely need some stuff up. We need to get better at merchandising though.
Yeah, y'all need to slang this stuff, dude.
Yeah.
We got exclusive artwork right behind you.
Yeah, I was going to make a shirt out of it.
Oh, see, there you
I was going to say allegedly in the back.
Allegedly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, her daughter drew that actually.
Really?
Yeah. She's like super talented.
I was about to say, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like that style.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
I'm a little dark, but that's cool.
We can lighten you up.
She's predicting the future, man.
It's digital.
Showing some papers.
It's digital. We just be like lighten up and it'll lighten up.
Yep. And then boom.
It's fast.
I'm like, man, he's gonna come look at that. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Sir.
Now that I see it,
To
I'm
El
like,
Salvador.
You're getting deported, bro. Sorry.
Send him to El Salvador.
Trump just put up your little litmus test, and you're too dark.
And I just failed.
Yeah, sorry about you.
Get my
Have they
rant.
found that guy yet?
I thought they did.
I have no idea.
The one that they shipped off to El Salvador?
Yeah.
Did they find him?
I have no idea. I think he's dead.
Dude, I'm thinking he's dead, too. And they're trying to cover it up or
Oh
something.
yeah.
Damn.
Like, how can we make a clone of this cat so we can get off the line of this?
That's why there's such. Oh, well, he was MS-13 and stuff like that. I'm like, well, you first of all, you fast due
Photoshop was
process.
bad, dude. That was hilarious.
You know? Oh, yeah. When they thought that MS-13, he's like, see, it even says MS-13. I was like, come on, bro. That's,
Yeah. That's an obvious Photoshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah. He's dead. That's why they're doing this whole roundy round shit.
Yeah.
So they said yes.
They did find him?
NBC News reports that Kilmar Abrego Garcia, the Maryland man mistakenly deported to El Salvador, was found alive and detained in the terrorism confinement center in El Salvador. The U.S. government confirmed that he was alive and secure.
Oh, but he's still in the prison though.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But they haven't returned him, though. So it's like...
He's getting plastic surgery right now.
Yeah, there's...
They don't want.
They don't release him back, then he's probably dead, and they're just not going to save him. They're hoping that the thing boils over.
He slipped and fell.
Yeah.
Fucking, he killed him.
Oh, yeah, he died. Unalived. Yeah.
Wasn't there was a video where that president of El Salvador had came to the White House to visit, and every time they questioned him about it, he would like, well, how can I return him? Like he just kept what do you mean? How can you? You're the fucking president of El Salvador. You can return him if you want to. Yeah. He's like, yeah, but he came as a prisoner. How could I just return him? That would be he's illegal. Like he just kept going around like bro, quit being stupid. Like you can return him. What are you fucking talking about?
Literally the courts are telling
You're literally
you
the
to
president
return them.
of the country.
And people are like, nah, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, it's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah,
that shit right there.
Yeah.
Again, that's that shit where they just go.
Go a little too much,
far. They're going a little bit too far now to fucking shut us down. You know that, right? It just hit right now. I'm like, oh shit,
like,
YouTube's
this
gonna
is not going at all.
We might need to switch gears.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Back
right?
to Beanie Babies.
Yeah, back to Beanie Babies.
No, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we just gotta fucking treat. We gotta treat people better, man.
Absolutely.
You know, and it all starts at home. It all starts at home.
Yeah.
It all starts at home.
It really
Reel
does.
it back. Yeah, back to St. Angelo.
Yeah, man. Because you've been around. Obviously, a bunch of different cities.
Yeah.
You know, I've been to a few. I've traveled a decent amount. I want to say a crazy amount. And dude, there is nothing like coming back to San Angelo. It is it's my paradise.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I don't know what it is about it. There's a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, it's home. I just feels home.
Well, I moved to California back whenever I was 20. I had the kind of I call them palm tree eyes is what I call them. Mm-hmm. Is that, you know, I wanted to be a professional skater, so I had that mentality of I have to move to California to get that, to get you know, my dream of becoming a professional skater. So I moved to California to do that, you know, and I had that ambition of, okay, well, I have to be successful. I have to move there to do that. Well, when I got there, it wasn't all palm trees and beautiful skate spots like I envisioned in my head. It was much more difficult to do that. But then whenever I came back to San Angelo and I started putting in more work here and doing the things I was doing, I started seeing more, success in doing those things. And I was able to kind of see that it's not where I'm at, but what I'm doing. And I found more success working within Texas and specifically San Angelo than where I was in California.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even though I'm a professional skater where I'm at now, but people still like look at some of the things I'm doing. They're like, oh, you live in San Angelo. It's like not a major city. Where is that at? But they don't realize like we have some of the best skate spots around. Like, honestly, we may not realize it, but people from other cities like San Diego and San Francisco and New York can be like, man, you have some of the coolest skate spots I've ever seen. I'm like, I guess so, but I don't realize it. But I took that for granted, you know.
You see it every day.
I see it every day, but it's true. I mean, people are like, man, I want to come skate San Angelo. The spots you post are badass, and y'all's community is so cool, and it just seems like a really cool spot to live in. And man, San Angelo seems like a badass place. And I'm like, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
And when people talk crap about this town, I just want to just shake the shit out of them and be like, man, you don't realize how cool this town really is.
Yeah.
We have so much. Our art community is incredible. We have, a lot of different things going on. I mean, we're the visual arts capital of the state. I mean, there's so many different like-minded people and artists and things going on. It's like, once you kind of like start branching out and realizing all the cool shit we have, like, you realize how awesome this town is.
Definitely, man. When I hear people talk shit about San Angelo, it's like, it's not the town, man. It's you. Change your perspective.
That's right.
You. That's exactly it.
That's
I
right.
was like, yeah, you're in this fucking victim mentality that, we don't ever got good stuff. We don't ever got anything. In San Angelo, stuff's closing down. And I'm like, stuff's closing down because you wouldn't support it.
Right.
If
you never get out and do
exactly.
anything. You're stuck in your house and bitching and complaining like a slacktivist would.
Activist would. Get out. Because there's so much stuff that goes on that, I wish I could make it all, but you can't.
Yeah.
You can't make it all, it's great. It's like, you got options.
Yeah. Well, like every week there's something going on. I was saying it the other day. I was like, man, every weekend there's art shows going on. There's concerts. There's events going on. There's things for the kids to do.
There's like
all you have to
vendor
do.
deals. There's like pop-up vendors.
Exactly. There's all kinds of crap. And it's like, I'm very blessed that I started Skate Angelo because it kind of forced me to meet more people and like-minded people. And it's a blessing that I did it because I've met so many people within our community that are, like-minded to me that may not necessarily skate, but they're in different avenues. And we all have very similar backgrounds and passions that you realize, man, San Angelo's got a lot of cool shit with a lot of great individuals behind it. And if you can just kind of get out of that stinking thinking, you'd realize how badass this town is, So it's just kind of branch out, try new things, meet different people, like whether it's at the skate park or whether it's through the library or, through the scenes, like you don't have to go to a bar to enjoy this town. A lot of people are like, oh, the nightlife sucks. Be like, well, it's because you go to the bar.
Yeah.
That's where you're stuck, man. It's like, do something else. Like,
exactly.
Create your own nights. Like, a lot of the art studios around here, like, or even the tattoo artists I'm friends with, they have little art nights where they just get together and do art together.
Yeah.
Just
do you have, does the skating, is like Skate Angelo, or does anything skating wise going on, like events?
Oh yeah, we do stuff. And that's what kind of where it all started from, is Skate Angelo actually started just from, we wanted to do regular skating events every month. And we're like, let's just give us, 1 weekend a month, we're going to all meet together. And then it kind of just blossomed from that. Yeah. And then we're like, no, let's start doing events. Okay. And then, we started doing events. Well, let's do some fundraisers. So we started doing fundraisers. Okay. Well, now we're fundraising to raise money for the skate park development. And okay, well, now we're, we developed we got a whole nother skate plaza we opened up. It's like, that's how stuff happens. It snowballs. It's like you start talking about little things. And like now Skate Angelo's, like we have a whole another skate plaza opened. We're adding new obstacles and stuff. And it's like, if I would have thought about where we were, we barely started this at late 2023. like not even really 18 months ago. And we've seen like
wow,
2
really?
years. Yeah. A crazy amount of progress in a short amount of time. And it was just like we were talking about earlier, like that drop in the bucket mentality.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's slowly gotten to the point to where it's like, I mean, I'm talking about stuff like this with y'all. I mean, I wouldn't have envisioned that, you know? So it's just cool to see like the progress of things that you don't realize, like things can progress and get better over time just by making those little steps every single day.
Man, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
So it's cool to see, you know, how far you can come with just a little bit of effort every single day, getting you to where you need to be. And you realize how far you're going to get.
Yeah. And if there's something out there that you just don't like, go to Facebook, start a Facebook page, and start doing it. Fuck. And maybe someday you'll, I don't know, start your own group.
Right. Just like y'all did it. I mean, it's like you wanted to figure out a way to, you know, communicate with people. Look at y'all.
Who would have thought they would have been this easy? You just like, I just talking to a mic. It's like, yeah, that's it. You're just talking to a mic.
Yeah.
And then
we made it harder for ourselves to do it than what it really needed to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's actually so easy,
we
man.
made it really hard for us.
I
mean, we didn't make it
You
hard.
make it in your head. Though.
Yes, exactly. That's what it was. Yeah.
It's you set your own limitations by your like limiting yourself to what you're capable of. I know it's like I limit myself because I'm like I foresee myself being able to be successful at that. Like I did it when I was in school. I'm like I was an introvert, but I told myself I was an introvert. It told me saying I'm not an introvert. I just keep telling myself I'm an introvert. You know, and it's like you allow yourself. I mean, one of my friends put like it to me. They're like, you will yourself into being. You know, it's like how you speak about yourself. Like, don't demean yourself because that shows up in your mannerisms. If you constantly talk bad about yourself, you're gonna enact that, and you're gonna feel bad about yourself. But if you say, I'm a positive person, I'm a beautiful person, and you know, I bring a lot to the table, and I'm a good individual.
You mentally project that.
You mentally project that, and
Oh,
your
that's what
success is. You know,
what's his name? That Rodriguez,
Robert Rodriguez. That dude right there had a lot of good stuff to say.
He was like, yeah, dude, because I always told myself that I wasn't something. He's like, one day I woke up and I'm an athlete.
Yeah,
that's what I projected every day.
right?
Until it became the goddamn.
he was in the gym rat now.
Yeah, he was a gym rat now, and I'm like, oh man. So yeah, I'm Oscar, and I'm a podcaster.
There you go.
There you go.
You're a successful.
There you go.
I'm a successful podcaster.
You know, one of the first conversations that me and you had when we first started doing this, and it was like, what if nobody listens or watches this whole thing? And we were like, hell, nobody's watching us or listening to us now. So what does it matter? It's not like,
Right.
what is it going to matter? I remember we talked about that, and then we got drunk.
And I mean, like I said, look where we're at now.
Yeah.
You know, this growth that we've had has been, we've tried to just keep it as organic as possible. We don't.
Yeah. Don't
It's
force
fun.
it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. We don't try to get all too crazy on social media, which I mean, wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's just not what we do. You know, I feel like we'll organically reach out
growth
to.
is it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people force it, it seems disingenuous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody that meets us here, if I see you at the store, it's still me. It's not this. We're not putting on like a character
facade.
or a
Right.
facade. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, because that's what I love about y'all, because y'all come across as genuine. Y'all don't come across as being. We see people that try to create the social media presence, and then they put on the fake airs and the fake voices and all that shit. But y'all don't have that. Y'all come across as genuine and humble, and that's what gets people. You know, it's like people that come across as fake, it comes across as fake.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like,
And it's so noticeable too.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
You're trying to sell me a product, bro, or are you trying to connect with me? What do you want? You know, because it's like, this is the way you're going to connect with people. You're not going to connect with people by showing them Pure Leaf sweet tea. You know, it's like, I mean, which is great if you're trying to get sponsorship money, but you're not going to create change in the world. You know,
No.
Yeah.
So,
You hear that, Pure Leaf?
yeah.
We
We need some money for
always-
What to Do podcast on the next episode. So, yeah.
You know,
Give us
the
some
other
money.
thing with that though too is like if you meet somebody that they're constantly trying to be this salesman or this pitch guy to you all the time, it's like, did you really ever meet that guy, or did you just meet his this character that he created?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is that even that's not him? Like you don't even know that guy
persona.
yet. Yeah,
I really pride myself when we bring people on because we don't. like we brought you on, we talked about Skate San Angelo, but I got to know you as a person.
Thank you.
And that's like,
and then us finding out about all the little things that you're doing
like,
too at the same
time. Straight up, when you show, we talked about nervousness before I was fucking terrified.
Yeah.
I'm terrified every episode.
Every episode.
Well, that's what's, and thank you for talking about that, because that's another one of those, like, I suffered really bad with anxiety,
yes,
for years. And stuff like this is the things that help me get over my anxiety and help me to talk about people that have anxiety, because it kind of forces you to get out of your comfort zone. I wouldn't have envisioned me being able to, talk in front of a group. Through skating, it gave me confidence in myself to be able to, talk in front of groups.
Yeah.
And it brought that out of me, because, if I can do like death-defying crap and kind of like walk away from it, stuff like talking in front of a group is nothing,
easy.
It's kind of basic, stuff. So I'm like, all of it is really in your head. Your limitations are fear, and you limit what you can do by, projecting the circumstances in your brain. Like, oh, people aren't going to like me. They're going to judge me by what I say. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go talk in front of those people. Where it's like, a lot of that stuff is made up. 90% of the problems you have are just kind of created within your own psyche, and your own limitations. If you just allow yourself to just be free and open, then things will lay where they go. The cards will be dealt, but, a lot of it is just made up circumstances in your brain that fight you from really reaching your full potential.
Yeah.
It's like the best thing I can ever say is take that jump. The best things I've ever experienced in my life were from doing those things that make you feel awkward.
Oh, yes.
And that was, I hated that I found this out through my debt collection job, but that's how I learned it. Because the things that make you feel uncomfortable are the things you should do first.
Yeah.
I hated debt collection. I hated it, but I learned it. The things that kept me from being successful, like calling certain people and talking about certain things, I became so damn good at it. It forced me to be communicative.
What is that called? Getting out of your own way.
Right. Exactly.
That's what that is.
You limit yourself by what restrictions you tell yourself. I said I was an introvert for the longest time.
Yeah.
And until I've told myself, I'm not an introvert, I'm an extrovert. I'm outgoing.
Yeah.
I talk to people. I love people. I love talking to people. And once I started talking like that, I started living it.
Yeah.
And now I am polar opposite from where I was in junior high. If I could go back in time and talk to that Kevin then, I'd be like, man, get out of your own fucking way, dude. Like, because limiting yourself is all here. Like, get over whatever limitations are keeping you from that.
So good, though.
Talk, whether it's, taking that dive to talking to someone you've never talked to before, or applying for that job you may not feel qualified for, trying that trick you may not feel comfortable doing because it may feel too hard, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, hell, I remember I'd applied for a job at BMAG, which is the rollerblading website I now own. But at the time, I was like, you know what? They had a position, applied for the job, and I'm going to apply for it. I might not get it, but I'm going to try anyway, And they ended up giving it to me. Now I'm the editor-in-chief of that magazine.
Man.
I am a co-owner of that magazine.
That's pretty awesome.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's literally the longest-running rollerblading media source on the web. And I looked up to this site whenever I was a kid, and I was on their site diligently.
That's crazy. And now you're co-owner.
I'm the co-owner of this company now, and it's insane.
That's a manifestation right there.
But that's a manifestation, because I would have never envisioned myself getting to where I was whenever I was a kid. But I told myself, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until I get to where I want to be. And it wasn't like I envisioned this and I said, I want to be the owner of this brand, but I want to be as best I can be and help as many people as I can within my realm.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big believer in, divine entities and things like that, but I'm a big believer in manifestation and creating your own path, and then your decisions will basically take you to where you need to be. And that's, some people feel like I'm destined to be this, or God told me to be this. No, it's really you have drafted yourself this way to get to there. I did those little steps every single day that got me to where I'm at now. I didn't just suddenly become an owner of the brands I have. I mean, I worked my ass off to get there. Yeah. You know? And like all the stuff that I'm successful at, it didn't come easy. It just took a lot of drops in that bucket. Yeah. And then suddenly it starts overflowing. And I mean, I'm not successful in being a millionaire, but I'm the richest person I know, because I have been
I hear that.
where I want to be. And I would make the little 15-year-old Kevin that was starting to skate like incredibly proud. And that's not to say like I live on pride or achievement or anything like that, but
you're happy doing what you're doing.
I'm happy and content that I've been able to persevere through adversity, and I can overcome the things that I've overcome to get to be happy with where I'm at, because I live my life.
That's invaluable.
Where I'm at. It's invaluable. Yeah. It's more than what any type of monetary compensation can
You can never come close.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm living my dream. And to kind of go back to the point of like, little kids in San Angelo can do that. I'm a product of that. And I'm not trying to say that just to be, you know, hyperbole or anything like that. But you really can.
You're an inspiration. You know, you're an inspiration. I'm sure.
Well, thank you.
To see, like, I mean, you're from San Angelo. As a little kid, you know, you were skating. Your dream was to, if I could, you loved it so much. If I could do this for the rest of my life, you would be totally happy, and you are still doing it.
Right. You know what's crazy?
It's like, that's amazing, man.
I've been on this planet for 42 years, and I can't say that.
A lot of people can't.
I can't say that. I can't say, hey, I found something that I absolutely love doing.
Yeah.
That I can't say that. Yeah. I can't say that.
Yeah. And
that's
I mean,
crazy.
I am incredibly.
It's profound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so fortunate and blessed to be where I'm at. And it's like, I mean, I'm a Buddhist, but I don't necessarily believe in a higher being, but I feel that everyone has a calling in their life, and everyone has value in everything that they do. You know, everyone has a calling that makes them worthy, you know, and I'm very fortunate that I've found the thing that gives me worth. And now I can, you know, help other individuals find whatever their, you know, path may be. And if it helps them overcome whatever limitations they have in their life, great. You know, whether that's through skating or whether it's through something else, you know, it's like, and that's why I want to be, is that to teach them well and, you know, pass that on to someone else, is that, you know, just because you may limit yourself to, you know, because I live in San Angelo, I can't make it, you know. Yeah. That's stinking thinking, like you said. You know, it's like you limit yourself by the limitations you put on yourself.
I feel like a lot of people, so like what you were saying, you're not doing what you're happy. I mean, so like me, I know I have several things that make me happy to do, but I'm not doing them actively, like as a way to live. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're more like hobby type things. Right. But a lot of people feel like in order to be happy, they measure that in monetarily. Yeah. You know what I mean? Right. And so a lot of people hate what they're doing. They hate their fucking life, because it's like, this is not what I'm supposed to be fucking doing. This does not make me happy. But I'm trapped here because I have to do this, because this is how I make my money. And that's the whole thing, is like, if you can figure out a way to earn a living off of what makes you happy, you've achieved it. Right. Even if that thing doesn't make you a millionaire, it doesn't fucking matter.
Is that like Nirvana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also goes to saying, like, just monetizing your life's ambition. You know, it's like, because even still, like, I hate to pull everything back to skating, but it's like, even still, like, within skating, like, if I got paid to do that, and sometimes I do, it kind of does take away from the passion and the love for it. You know, it's like, once I started putting too much emphasis on, okay, I have sponsors, I have to go out and I have to get these certain amount of clips for them to, keep my sponsorship
now it's
going. And then it's work and it's taking away from the love of it, but if you love doing what you're doing, you'll do it whether you get paid or not, So it's like, just like y'all do this, you do it for the love, It's like you're not doing it to get paid necessarily. And I will rollerblade for the rest of my life. I don't get paid. I don't get paid enough to sustain my family from it. I make a little bit of money here and there, but I don't do it to get paid. I don't do it for the fame. I do it for the feeling I get for whenever I go out and I land a trick and I feel better. And that little bit of time that I'm doing it, everything else in the world ceases to exist, I go in my happy place and I'm there while I'm doing it. And I look back and I'm like, I did that. I accomplished my goal. That was my goal for that day and I did it. I busted my ass, I bled, and I overcame that. And I'm better for it. It's like, whether I landed or not, it's like, you know what? I fought my ass off that day. I didn't win it, but I fought. Hey, and that's life, you know? And it's like, that's a great parallel, for comparing, strength through adversity and skating, and you can apply that to life experiences. So
that definitely makes sense because I don't make any money doing this, but I like
We're doing it.
But you do it so much, someday you will. It's the drop in the bucket mentality. It starts happening, and then you realize what it do from 5 years from now when y'all start making a living at this, you'll be like, you know what? It's that little drop every single day that got you there.
Ah, that's true.
So, I mean, just because it may not be where you're at now doesn't mean you're not going to be where you're going to be in 5 years. So, I mean, keep making those drops every day,
Look where we're at now and where we started.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
You're out of your garage and now you're in here. You're moving on up like the Jeffersons.
A garage would have been an upgrade. No, man. Awesome. I mean, that's so invaluable, man. And the whole thing, while you were talking, I was like, man, that's actually...
You've dropped a lot of knowledge,
shit.
man.
Yeah, man.
You really did.
Appreciate that.
A little profound. I held back the tear a little bit because it was
self-reflecting.
Man. I mean, it's a lot of self-reflecting, especially when you said, man, if I can go back and tell my younger self something, I was thinking about that. I was like, what would you tell your younger self if you had the opportunity? I'm like, no one's quit worrying. No one's watching.
Right.
No one's watching.
Nobody's watching.
Well,
no one's watching.
And it's like, what do you have to lose? And that's so much of it. It's like, what do you, because if you don't, where are you going to be? You're stuck where you're at anyway. You might as well take that leap of faith and try. And if you fail, well, hey, at least you gave an effort. But when you succeed, you be like, man, I'm glad I did.
Yep. Regret, man. That's, the being scared just festers regret.
Yeah,
that's it.
Oh yeah,
because you're like, man, what if I wouldn't have done it? Yeah, what if you would have?
Exactly.
Those what ifs right there, boy.
Yep.
They pile up, man. They
sure do.
The back of your brain, and they become this fucking black mass, man. Yeah. They become a cancer of your imagination.
For sure.
Well, because you much more regret the things that you didn't do than the things that you did do that you failed at.
Yeah.
So,
you were like, oh, I lost a lot of money. I was like, what's money? Just fun coupons, man. Yeah.
Yeah, you get back. Come back.
Yeah. So. All you got to do is get up and get after it again, and trust me, you'll fill it right back up again. Let's keep on going.
Rarely do you regret life, experiences. You may regret a stupid purchase, like I wish I didn't buy that stupid car, but rarely be like, I'd regret going to Japan. It's like
I was like, I was broke the entire time I was there, but I'm like, but you went to Japan, man. You did something that literally 98% of the people will never do.
It's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man,
this
Kevin,
is great, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you for coming.
You touched a little something inside me.
Did I play your heart?
Little Oscar.
Yeah, because I'm like, man, that is true. My little teenage self, dude, he was so worried about what everybody else thought.
That's a lot of.
And I never really got that out of my way. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, goddamn. I was so worried about what everyone else thought that I literally put aside what I really wanted to do.
Right. Yeah, and a lot of people waste a lot of years of their life just worried about what other people think of them. Yeah. So it's
would you say that since we've started doing this, you've kind of let go of some of that, what other people were?
Oh, I've had to. Yeah. Because I'm like, this is literally, like, anybody who listens to this, right? What episode is this?
This is 115.
115, okay.
Damn.
If you go back from very first one to hear, this is who I am. You literally.
You've seen growth.
Yeah, you've seen growth. Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff, like I've said stuff on this podcast I wouldn't tell another person, you know, which is crazy because I'm like, there's a lot of people listening.
Yeah.
You know,
that's cool though.
You know,
it's therapeutic.
Yes, very therapeutic.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's been a lot of growth, but like this is me through and through. Sometimes I'll say things that are just like, hey, God, that's kind of cool. And sometimes I'll say stuff that's extremely stupid, you know, but I own it. I have to own it, you know?
No, I mean, you're in the heat of the moment sometimes. We all say
yeah.
stupid
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because we had a good, like, 20-minute span of just something.
It can't all be gold.
That can all be gold. But at the same time, you're just like, you know, if anybody ever wonders, man, I wonder what he's like. Man, listen to 5 podcasts. That's who I am.
Yeah.
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 Not the very beginning.
I mean, you're the same guy you were
Not the very
before you
beginning.
pressed
I wasn't
record,
there.
you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nothing changed, man. And I love meeting people that are just like, damn, this dude's
Oh,
genuine.
yeah.
It's genuine. This is a genuine guy that I'm listening. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, man, you are few and far between.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Because
Thank
it is mind blowing. That's another thing I love doing this, because
Food.
you meet those little gold nuggets, man. You're just like, damn. Like we got one next week, right? That the first time I met him, he came here with inks.
Yeah, yeah.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I'm like, dude, how are you this young and have so much in your head?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It was just like, we'll just say, because our guest for next week, Cozy Andretti.
Cozy Andretti. That's my boy, dude.
Is he,
Yeah.
man?
Oh, yeah.
Blew my
Such a
mind.
cool
For
cat
as young
for
as
so
he
young.
is. Yeah.
A little mogul for being a freaking young
Yes.
cat. I love Cozy.
And I'm like, yo, where are you dropping all this, man? Like, where's this coming from? I was like, has to be like years of reincarnation to fucking.
He's an old soul.
Yes,
He
there
is.
you go.
Yeah. I found out how young he was, and I was like, because I felt like he was like around our age and stuff like that. I mean, not like he looks like our age, but I mean, he seems much, much older. And I'm like, he was running his own tattoo shop and all this. And I'm like, very, very successful and very, you know, very business acumen, you know, regimented guy. Very, very smart for his age. So shout out Cozy.
Yeah, shout out Cozy, man, because he blew my mind. Like they said, there's those nuggets where you're just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
He's a cool guy for sure.
Even if I leave here, I can say hi to you. You're just not, hey, what's up? You know, go on about your business. It's like you're a very unique, genuine person that, man, people, you got to take those as blessings.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, I got to meet a genuine person. Someone who's not trying, there's no facade.
There's no agenda.
Yeah.
No nothing.
And luckily for me, I married one. You know, she's, the way you see her anywhere, that's her.
That's her.
That's her. And I'm like, damn, man, I've had to put down walls to get to this. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, damn, this is you straight out the jump. Sometimes it's annoying. You know, I'll say it.
To her, you're
it's just like, God,
You hear that, Amy?
Yeah, because her with her religion, you know, her belief in religion. I'm just like, how are you so fucking
just naturally
natural? It's just like, this is what it is.
Blind faith.
Yeah, there's no swaying you from anything. It's just like, it's just
strong in your faith.
Yeah, and I'm like, but this is the thing. Never been to church, doesn't express her beliefs to anybody. Her beliefs are her beliefs, right? And that's it. And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to figure out, I want the meaning of life and shit. I need answers because I need, that's my own insecurities. I understand
that. That's getting in
that.
your own way, though, in a way, too.
There you go.
Yeah. Shit. All right, man. I'm tired of getting my own way here.
We'll get out of our way.
Kevin, thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks,
I sure
man.
appreciate it.
It's been a blessing. I appreciate you.
Do you have any plugs or anything you want to?
No, just follow Skate Angelo TX on Instagram and Facebook. Shout us out. We got a bunch of cool events coming on. We're fundraising. We're working with different community organizers and just trying to branch out as much as we can with different businesses and like-minded individuals. So if you have cool events that you'd like to collaborate with us on, feel free. We're all about, working with other, like-minded people within our community and branching out and trying to do whatever we can to, help the skating community and, providing opportunities for the, kids here. But, if there's ways that we can collaborate and, work together, I'm all about it. So
cool,
that's
man.
what we do.
You hear this, Angelo? God, it was awesome. Hey, guys, take your kids out. Go buy some skates. Get out to the park.
Show some support.
Show some
support local.
Show some support. There you go.
Skate Angelo.
Skate Angelo.
What it do, baby?
What it do?